Alright, we're going to try a late summer in the backyard with Dr. Walker, starting at the tick seed sunflower patch. Crazy good year. It likes the kind of wettest areas of the backyard. Mad amounts of pollinators in here, a lot of monarchs, a lot of pipevine swallowtails are back here, but just solid sunflower patch. Smells good, attracts tons of wildlife. We've got an armadillo living in there right now. Great growing year in Oklahoma. We've kind of gotten rain every week this summer. Got some storms. Father's Day weekend, which kind of beat up our elm. I'll have to clean that up this winter. But all in all, a phenomenal growing year in Oklahoma, which just sparks that prairie to explode. You're not going to see a lot of pollinators right now. It's a heavy dew this morning. We've got our tick trefoil growing in my oldest prairie patch. Really sticky fruits on it that'll get all over. You can wreck a fleece shirt pretty easily by walking through tick trefoil. Constantly doing battle with the giant ragweed in that patch. And we've got a lot of our goldenrod coming in, but constantly battling the pecan trees that squirrels will plant in the prairie. We cut them back each winter, but they've got that root system, so they come raging back every year. But you can appreciate how solid that tick seed sunflower is over there. This is our 4-year-old patch right here. We had a really good run of Maximilian sunflowers in here last year. There's the Maximilian sunflowers this year. They were probably 12 feet, 10 feet tall. You can look at Fall in the Backyard with Walker episode to see that. This year they're a lot smaller despite having better growing conditions, and I think that's just because they've hit all those nutrients that were available down there. First year was the best year. Now we've got wing stem coming in here, called wing stem because the stems have little flare outs or wings on them. Kind of a cool plant, but that's kind of becoming the dominant one in this patch of the prairie. Here we've got a 3-year patch with, again, a lot of wing stem, but now we're starting to see the big blue stem creeping in. My favorite grass back here, also called turkey foot because it looks like a turkey's foot. We've got some Indian grass growing over here, Oklahoma's state grass. The big 4 grasses in the tall grass prairie are big blue stem, little blue stem, Indian grass, and switchgrass. So we're trying to get those all kind of established back here. We've got our patch under our plum trees, our prairie patch under our plum trees, which is the favorite spot for elephant's foot, called elephant's foot because the basal leaves look like an elephant's foot in some species, but not this one. This is also a patch where, there's my tick trefoil again, called tick because it sticks to you, and trefoil because it's got 3 leaves. Tray, 3 foil leaves. Tick trefoil.
Come back.
And we've got some milkweed coming in here as well for our monarchs. A couple species of milkweed are starting to do better in the backyard. Hopefully we can attract some more monarchs. Our apple trees had a really good year. Apples and pears, got a ton of harvest off of those. That was a July event when we were able to harvest, kind of early July. Over here, we've got our pipe vine. This is important, Dutchman's pipe, because that's the species of plant that the pipevine swallowtail caterpillars survive on. So that's why we have such a great population of pipevine swallowtails in the backyard, because we have the host plant, Dutchman's pipe. This patch of prairie, 3 years old, and it goes off in June. Kind of slows down at this time of year, but in June, packed full of bee balm, monarda, member of the mint family, false sunflower. Looks a lot like black-eyed Susan, but it's got opposite leaves rather than alternate leaves. Opposite leaves because you have 2 at each node. Looks a lot like the black-eyed Susan. 3 veins from the base of the leaf. Ooh, frostweed there. You can see that's a new plant for us. They're called frostweed because in the winter time, early winter when it freezes, it's still sucking water up from the roots, and it'll actually freeze and then blow out those stems, and so the stems will explode just because the water's freezing in it. Nice garden spider there, beautiful creature. Get a close up on that one, like that. Good opportunity to just listen to the biodiversity back here, how much has moved in since we've converted it from lawn to prairie. Got our black walnut. This is what a walnut looks like when it's growing on a tree. It's got a bunch of really dark staining black kind of pith around what you think of as a walnut. These are the ones that at this time of year when you're mowing, good heavens, it'll shoot out that mower who knows how far. Kind of knocked everything down this year, so in January all of this was just mowed and knocked down in other ways as well. We've got a ton of this guy, Chinese bush clover. This is not a good thing. This patch used to be really good with Solidago, goldenrod, and it's kind of getting taken over by bush clover, so I think these 2 patches are going to have to get knocked down this year, just because I got to dig up some bush clover. It's not fun, but you can see how thick this tick trefoil gets, and again, it'll just stick to you. I was a field botanist. Occasionally I'd collect it and be transferring my plants in the hotel room that night, back when they used to have carpets in hotel rooms. Pretty sure I ruined a couple of hotel rooms, but you can't get this stuff off. Once it's on, it's just on. Alright, probably worth mentioning, we've got our poison ivy. That's one worth recognizing and learning. Leaves of 3, let it be. That's one of the few things I'll actually spray in the backyard to get rid of, just spot spray it, because I'm violently allergic to it and I like being comfortable in my backyard. My favorite patch here, we've got a good patch of big blue stem or turkey foot. You can see that's way overhead. That's probably 7 feet tall there. A good year for that, and that'll kind of crowd out the other undesirable plants around it, like our giant ragweed and things like that. So really trying to encourage more of this big blue stem through the whole of the prairie. Ash sunflower, great plant for July this year is when this patch went off. Probably worth talking about grasses a little bit. We've got our purple top here. We've got our beaked panicum, called beaked panicum because the fruits look like little bird beak. This is a 3-year patch that I haven't done anything to, and really we don't have a lot going on. We have a panic grass, panicum, in here, and that beaked panic grass as well. I'm not terribly pleased with it. Probably not going to do a lot to encourage this patch. This is another one that I've got some Chinese bush clover moving in that we're going to have to knock down. Knotroot bristlegrass, another grass that's really common in here, but absolutely the best time of year to be in the tall grass prairie, when all the grasses are high, a lot of the sunflowers are blooming, the wildlife is thick. Unfortunately, that means also all of the challenges of being outside in Oklahoma are thick. The ticks and chiggers and mosquitoes. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of those back here. I kind of credit that to, we have a huge population of dragonflies, and I think they eat most of the mosquitoes back here. That's summer, late summer in the backyard, Labor Day weekend 2023. All right.